Hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. I am back with another candle review, back with just back here and just like in and out. The last couple of months for me have been quite rough, and to the point where again I had to take another step back. I'm guessing eventually things will mellow out. I'm praying. I'm just optimistic, and I'll continue to look forward to things panning out and getting better. But I don't want to make this video a chatty box about what's happened to me in the last couple of months. So we're going to get right into it. So what I would like to do, starting from here and going forward, I feel like I've found more of an organizational way of presenting candle reviews and not having 1,000 videos to record when I could just simply do one video of something. So what I'm thinking of doing is doing post-burn reviews, kind of getting back into that, but in more of a different type of approach. I feel like everybody is doing something with their candle reviews to make it and tailor it unique to them, and I would like to start finding my own niche for that. So what I've decided to do is, you know how I post on Saturday on Instagram? If you follow me on Instagram, Tiffany_Vanessa30. If you follow me on Instagram, you've noticed that I only post four candles for the candles that I like try on the weekend. There's a difference between what I burn all month and what I'm actually trying, even though they're all candles that I'm enjoying for the month. But Saturday and Sunday is really the day that I do the try it type of sequence, and I try something in my stash. I actually shop my stash and burn something I haven't got a chance to burn. And that's basically it. So it's anything that's new to me that I just haven't got a chance to burn. And this is why we're here. So this weekend, which when you see these, they'll be during the week. But this weekend, I burned two different groups of candles. Two of them are Slatkin. They're both Slatkin & Co. The first grouping was much more of a miscellaneous beginning to an end of summer type of collection, so we'll leave it there. And that one, which you actually will see this video before that one has guanabana daiquiri in it, triple berry pie, salted soft pretzel, and s'mores. So that's like a mix-up of everything from carnival to bakery to bonfire to a day at the poolside. This particular collection that I'm burning today consists of 4 out of the 5 candles. One of them I burnt last month. And these fit more in the category of things that I like to enjoy in August. So like barbecues, carnivals. I'm not really a camper, but I'll live vicariously through candles that give me a camping essence. So for instance, if they're like Goose Creek has this wilderness collection, that's something I would burn for August. Not really, I don't consider that collection to be like a fall collection. I feel like that's that transitional in between. I mean, you can burn it for fall, but kind of like in the genre of that, Bath & Body Works kind of has a camp collection. One is summer camp, one is fall. So the summer camp, I think, consists of backyard honeysuckle. I think, is it ice dragon fruit or something? Ice dragon fruit tea. Campfire cocoa, which is basically hot cocoa and cream. And Mountainside Mist, which is basically summer rain. Stuff like that I would burn to now. That kind of plays into the theme of hiking, camping, and then also the tomato garden aspect. So this is where I would burn the Off the Vine or anything honey related or tomato or golden, something that has that essence of it's late summer, but you get it. So we're 5 minutes into this because this is the first video of its kind. So I kind of have to explain to you what my plan is. So the 4 candles I picked from this grouping is the one that you see now, which is Backyard Barbecue. I picked grilled corn on the cob, grilled peaches, and pineapple mango salsa. So I'm just going to review them in order of how I grabbed them, and I'll rank them at the end. So let's get into the video. So the first candle that we are going to talk about is Backyard Barbecue. And this is currently available on the QVC website for $42.98 if you're interested, with free shipping and handling. I'm not sure how long that's going to last. I just know at the recording time of this video, that is what it says. This candle collection originally came out summer 2024, but it is still on the site in a set of 2. Do you need a set of 2 or want a set of 2? I'm not sure. And ambassador codes don't work on QVC, just so you know. I'm not pushing my code, but also want to be transparent that I am an ambassador with Homework, so there's that. The scent notes for Backyard Barbecue is a blend of wood smoked bacon, sea salt, caramelized brown sugar, and a hint of maple. All right, so we're gonna start with this one. It's savory. It does smell like wood smoke. I do get hint of a smoked bacon if you've ever had it. I don't know. I've never actually had a grilled piece of bacon, but I'm pretty sure it's probably delectable and possibly could smell like this. There is a salty quality to this that adds that savory nuances, and the caramelized brown sugar makes this dark, kind of like a deep, meaty type of savory scent, adding that hint of maple. I don't know if the maple is really truly there, but it could add to, again, the enhancement of smelling like some type of meat or something is being barbecued on the grill. What I do love about this scent and the uniqueness that it gives is the fact that there is that charred, grilled smell. If you've ever been familiar with how barbecuing is with actual coal or wood, there's this charred smell you get once the fire has calmed down and it's, doing its thing, keeping things roasted and cooked without actual flame. That is what I get at the base of this. On the top, I again get that sea salt bacon type of nuance at the top, but that wood smoke is carrying at the bottom. I personally am in a hate love it situation with this one. I would say I actually like it because it's unique, it's different. I mean, don't get me wrong, Bath & Body Works did come out with something similar. I can't think of it right out now, yo guys. And this came out after, but that wasn't in terms of trying to create like a backyard barbecue thing. It was much more on I feel like a smoked ham, glazed maple ham type of scent, versus this where you get that smoked charred wood, again, savory, salty, probably a little hint of sweetness going back and forth there. But again, it gives that essence of barbecuing meat on the grill over a charred wood fire. I want to say coals, but I feel like for what it's worth, and because it says a blend of wood smoke, then it's charred wood. And then I got my fan blowing, so the wicks are flickering just a little bit much more than normal. So I might have to turn the fan off the candle a little bit. I got it on me because it's hot. And yes, I burn candles in the summer. I mean, that's what air conditioning is for. That's what fans are for. It doesn't, in my opinion, I don't feel any different burning candles in the summer than I do in the winter. Now, as far as scent throw, strength, performance. So the first burn, it took about 4 complete hours to pull out, of course. And I'm not mad about that. The second burn, it didn't take that long. I turned it off after the 4th hour, let it cool, settle for a while, and went back to it like an hour and a half, 2 hours later. Second burn, did another 4-hour burn. Burned flawless, no problems. Developed minimal mushroom tops. Turned it off for a little while, and then let it sit again, solidify for 2.5 hours. And so now we're back on the third burn. This is the third burn now. The first burn, it wasn't very strong. It was like a medium light. Second burn, it started getting to the medium. Now we're into the third burn. It's a medium to medium high. My family, especially my mother, she didn't realize what I was burning. She did not know this is what I was burning. So she kept thinking that it was the neighbors cooking something, or something was just coming through the windows, even though the windows were closed. You know, some things happen. You smell stuff from outside, even with good sealed windows. So she kept saying, what does it smell? It was the candle, you guys. She's like, it smells like burning something, which it is. I mean, it's a charred wood. It smells wood smoke, and it's burning. So it could smell like a smoked meat quality, and she may not like it because it's savory and salty. But I was burning this in my room, and it came down the hall and up into our open concept. So I would say the strength and throw is probably at about a 7 on the third burn. So it went from a 5 to a 7 within that time frame. So let's look at the burn real quick. Let me just show you how it's looking. So as you can see, it's burning quite clean. Never really have any issues with Harry's candles. If you see any soot, again, I literally have a fan that directly shooting towards me, so the wind is causing the flames to flicker a lot more. When I'm done with this particular portion of the review, I will cut it off and come back, and we will start the review on grilled corn on the cob. So other than that, I have another backup of this because, you know, I got it off the website, but it's not a repurchase because I already have the Bath and Body Works candle that is kind of similar, even though they're different. They are still in that savory, sweet, maple, meaty, smoked smell. So I don't need backups of this. It's just good to see someone else attempt something different. And I like how these candle companies are truly thinking outside of the box. Even though my mother was like, why would somebody want to make a candle that's like that? I honestly think this candle was meant to be burnt at actual backyard parties in the summer, in a hurricane, outside. That's my take on it. If you were to have a backyard barbecue, this would fit the narrative. So if you have a hurricane, yeah, burn it then. But for the house, yeah, it may be too much for people in the house and very unpleasant to guests. So if you are one of those weird taste scent acquired people, this will work for you. But if you are not into that genre of candle and you're not into the weirdly acquired taste grouping, this probably won't be for you. So other than that, you guys, thank you for tuning into this portion of the video. Let's talk about grilled corn on the cob. All right, you guys, we are back with number 2 review on this. And so now we're talking about grilled corn on the cob. And this one has scent notes of sweet corn, melted butter, crushed red pepper, and sea salt. So this is another one of those controversial candles. And it's funny because the fact is this is another one of those candles that you have to have an acquired taste for. Again, another savory candle, but the difference with this one, in my opinion, is it has much more of a scorched, burnt smell, and I think it's because of the melted butter. Now, the first burn. On the first burn, I got the corn. I got this sweet corn. I got this melted butter like a sweet cream. And I got like crushed red pepper with a hint of sea salt. That was the first burn. And I really was enjoying it, that first burn. It was doing well. The throw was about a 6, so it was a medium to start, and which is good. Again, same thing with this candle. It took about 4 hours on the first burn to pull out. Second burn just didn't take long to pull out. Second burn pulled out, and I, again, burnt it in the same sequence as the backyard barbecue. That one pulled out right away. The scent on this started to strengthen a little bit. I would say about a 7, so it was coming out in the hallway, traveling down the hallway, okay, coming out. And then this is the third burn now. So this one was burning also in the back in another room. And this one is traveling across to 2 rooms. So I would say this is like a 7.5 to an 8. And I would say this is also traveling down the hall to come into the open concept. So right now I'm burning this in the open concept where we are right now. And it is still quite strong, savory. And I'm getting like this, the corn on the cob, as if it's sitting on that backyard barbecue charred wood grill. That's literally what it smells like to me. It smells like it's on a grill being cooked, and the smoke is starting to overpower the grilled corn that's on the cob, and it's starting to smell a little burnt. That is what I'm getting from this one. Other than that, like I said, it's one of those acquired type of scents, and you have to have the taste for it. Here's the burn. You see minimal on the mushrooming, I would say. I don't think that's aggressive. Maybe that one right down on the bottom right here, but the rest of them are doing quite well. The wax is clean. I would say, are they centered? They're okay. Doing pretty well. The wax pull is not too deep. Again, like I said, I'm not having any issues with how it's burning. It was slow to pull. I feel like the wicks on the top at the beginning are thinned out, and then as you get further down, the wicks start to thicken up, because you can see the wicks are quite sturdy here. They're thin, they're not thick, producing extra soot. And I remember back when the 2021 version came out, how they all were like these thick wicks, and they burnt strong. They made the candles, all the candles, most of them, almost every Harry Slacken candle that I own from 2020 to 22 was basically like 8, 9 and strength and throw. So I never had strength issues. We didn't really start having issues with the strength and throw till like 22 when the lids changed. And I feel like once 24 rolled around, that's when some of the candles started to get back to somewhat of their glory, not 100%. So this is an example of that, where it starts out light and then the scent is growing with each subsequent burn, because those wicks are getting thicker at the bottom, and also the throwing and the flames are nice. I do trim, so I don't want you trim nuts, the ones who love to trim their candles. I don't want you to think I'm just lighting this and going. I'm trimming minimally, because you want to leave some length so that it continue to burn and pull and not give you issues with the burn midway, because that was another issue I was starting to have with some of the 22 and 23 pours, is that if you trimmed them, once they got to like here, they would start to dud out for no reason or get really tiny flames. And for a homework candle, that was never heard of until then. So I'm glad it looks like they fixed whatever the issue is. And I haven't burned, I'm gonna be honest, I haven't bought any Homer's candles in abundance since this collection drop. This collection drop I spent money on, because I felt like because it was so unique, I thought it was going to sell out. So I did spend money on this collection, but honestly, this was the last collection that I actually spent some change on, and I haven't bought a Homer's candle since. So it's been a year today since I bought a Homer's candle with my own money. I'm still an ambassador. I still get the perks, but yeah, no, because certain things were just, they weren't going the way that in the direction that I feel, and that'll be something I may discuss in another video going forward. But not in this one. So grilled corn on the cob, I would recommend to those who are into those type of scents. This smells burnt to me on some mid-range level, but not all the way through. Like, I don't always smell it burnt. Sometimes, like I said, I get the corn, then the sweet cream, but the melted butter, they could have backed off of that melted butter and that salt. And I think the red crushed pepper, I would have loved to have a little more of that spice come through for the crushed red pepper, and a lot more of an actual corn. But I mean, if you think about it, it smells like corn chips. So I'm guessing that's the corn. I don't know, but just wanted to let you know that is the grilled corn on the cob. And like I said, it comes in a set of 2 on QVC as well. So you can definitely order it now if you want it. And at the time of this video, same pricing as the Backyard Barbecue. All right, you guys, we're gonna keep going now with the next one right here, which is grilled peaches. Now, before you ask, I'm not sure if it's similar to Kringle's. Is it charred peach, grilled peach, or something like that? I'm not sure. I need to fix the wick on one of these, by the way. I'll show you guys in a minute, but let's get into this one. So the scent notes on this one, which are quite weird, by the way, but we'll go with it. Sweet charred peaches, star anise, vanilla bean, and brown sugar. So for me, I definitely get peaches. This is like all ranges of peach, nothing else really. There is bouts of like this grilled charred smokiness in the background. It's very light forward and in the front and the center, and I think in the base of it is mostly peach. You get this juicy peach, you get the meat of the peach, and I feel like you get the skin of the peach within this scent while it's burning. I really am enjoying this for what it is. It actually makes me want to try grilled peaches. I've never had them, to see just how savory they are. I would say this is kind of a savory scented candle because of the charred and the star anise and the brown sugar. As I was saying, much more into that deeper dark, not dark like midnight or Halloween dark, but just that deeper, more intrusive grilled peach syrupy scent. Now for me, the burn is okay. The first burn, again, took a complete 4 hours to pull out and get a decent wax pull. Not a deep one, but just a decent one, enough where I could extinguish, let it rest, and come back. That was the first burn. On the first burn, I would say the strength and throw on this is like a 3. I've been burning in an open concept because of the simple fact that I didn't want to put the savory ones from the beginning of this post-burn review in the front, so I put these in the front instead. I will say that this one has pockets of where it traveled. That's why I'm giving it a 4, because it will only hit, because it's in the open concept, but the open concept that's open to the hallway. So in that regard, it would go like halfway down the hallway, but it's not going nowhere else in the open concept. It's literally staying stationary where it's at and traveling to the midpoint of the hallway, which is really next to. So one of those type of scents that carries over around the corner but doesn't fill up any other space. The burn on this, not the burn, the wicks, the placement on these wicks are what drives me nuts with some of Homework's candles, because look at the placement. So you see those 2 that's close to the bottom of the camera? Look how close they are together. And then look at the ones back there. Look how spaced out they are. Now look, this is what I mean when I say the placement is terrible. I feel like Homework has some of the worst placement. Come on. Now you were perfectly fine before I did that. Sorry, y'all. I feel like Homeworks has some of the worst placement when it comes to their wicks next to Goose Creek. I'm not going to say Bath & Body Works because I don't see it as often as I do with Homeworks and Goose Creek. I don't know if it's because they're e-commerce stores. So in that regard, it's much more annoying that I can't pick out my candles and that someone's just grabbing, packing, and throwing my stuff in boxes to be shipped. So that's where my annoyance comes in. But other than that, grilled peaches on the second burn, I would say maybe stayed at a 4, maybe a 4.5. And then the third burn, which is now, it's up to a 5. But honestly, I don't think it's going to get any stronger than a 5 in an open concept. Now, if I burnt this in a smaller room, it probably would do much more there. But again, I don't really want to burn this in a smaller room because I prefer to burn it out here with the other candle that's part of this collection that I'll talk about in a minute. But other than that, grilled peaches is also available in limited stock, low stock. So if you're interested in trying something different, you don't like the floral peaches that most people talk about, or the peach that a lot of people say smell like cat urine, I personally do not know what that smells like. So I can never tell you what cat urine smells like because I don't own a cat, never really been around them to know what cat urine smells like. So there's that. And I don't get the grody peach that everyone talks about. I just really get a peach that's juicy, has its fruit juices in it, the skin that also has this juiciness and nutrients within it, and then a charred version of that on top of it for a much more savory flavoring going with the fruit portion of this candle. So that is my review on grilled peaches. I say try it if you liked Kringle's Country Candle charred peaches or grilled peaches. I can't remember, y'all. Oh my God, I can't remember. And I can't look it up to share a photo because I don't think I have one. But that peach, if you liked those peaches, then I think you would like this one. Or was it charred pineapple? It's one of the two. But again, if you kind of like the charred pineapple, you might like this one because pineapples are more acidity compared to peaches. So there's the review on grilled peaches. All right, we are at the very last review of this post-burn collective review. So the next candle that I'm burning in this grouping is pineapple melon salsa. I kept saying pineapple mango salsa, but it's actually pineapple melon salsa. And this has scent notes of a blend of juicy melon, island pineapple, lemon lime zest, and fresh basil. So this was also part of that grouping. It is available on QVC, but the packaging on it is a little different than what I have. See, I have like this yellow stamp in the middle. Like, I don't know if this is what type of, would it be a weird shaped hexagon? I'm not sure. I think it's a weirdly shaped hexagon because it has 6 points, 6 corners. Because octagon would be 8 corners, and I'm not seeing 8. I'm just seeing 6. So hexagon. Then one that's on QVC is the same picture of the bowl of pineapples with the basil on top, but it's just a black lettering with no stamp in the middle. So that's the only difference. So that tells me it's a newer pour. That also tells me that last year they must have sold out of it and they repoured some. But from what I'm gathering, this entire backyard barbecue collection, or summer backyard party, maybe that's what it's called, is online, because I think the watermelon margarita is also online, and it's not in this packaging, but it's in the same packaging as the one that I'm describing. So I think those two were put in new packaging. The other 3 that are reviewed before this one are still in their original packaging on QVC, just so you know. So if mines look different and you are interested in this one, by all means, I just wanted to let you know there is a change in packaging, and this is the original pour, and who knows, honestly, the newer pour may be better. Then, because I'm gonna be honest with you, grilled peaches was okay. Not saying that it was the best. It wasn't a super strong thrower. The strongest ones, of course, were backyard barbecue and grilled corn on the cob. But again, they're savory scents, so they should be stronger. Grilled peaches, I wish was stronger. I didn't mention that in another video, but grilled peaches, I wish was a little stronger. I think the strength of it is at a 5. And now we're on pineapple melon salsa. So what do I get from this? First of all, I just get pineapple. I don't get anything else. I just get that acidic pineapple that Homeworks uses and a lot of these candle companies use. I don't personally have a vendetta against pineapple. I do know a couple of my friends who are content creators like myself don't like the smell of pineapple. I think Melanie may be one of them, Mr. Kong's mom, and Connor from Connor Loves Candles, maybe another. I'm not sure about Katie from Katie's Joyful Life. I'm not sure if she not too much care for pineapple. I can't remember. I do remember that she reviewed this candle, and I don't think she liked this one too much. Or the grilled peach, was it grilled peaches? I can't remember, y'all. It's been a year since I've seen her review, and she reviewed these. I mean, if you want to see her video, I can try to find a video and put it in the description box, and you can go and check out that video as well. Just to keep in mind that it's a year old. Because these came out last summer. But for me, I'm just really getting a juicy that island pineapple. I'm not picking up on a lemon. The melon. I'm not picking up on the lime zest at all. And I'm not getting fresh basil, which is what I would have wanted. I'm not going to lie. I wanted some melon. I wanted some of that lime zest, and I really wanted some fresh basil. I ain't going to lie. I wanted the basil to come through. This candle probably would have blew my socks off if I got that mixture of pineapple and basil. Didn't really need the lemon lime zest. I'm sure it would have kicked in somewhere, because for some odd reason, fresh basil to me can come off smelling zesty. So therefore, that part probably would have got played much more. But it's just a simple baseline pineapple from the beginning to the end, from the top to the bottom. I will say maybe I get a hint of something underlying from this, but most of it again is just pineapple straight forward and back. The throw on this one is just like the grilled peach. It's not very strong. Honestly, this one probably is the most abysmal as far as strength and throw. I would say it's probably about a 3, and yeah, maybe about a 3. This is that kind of scent that I feel like it's not going to do well in open concept. This is very much a small room type of scent. The type of scent that you'd have to probably hover over in an open concept, but maybe it'll perform better in a smaller space. But definitely grilled peaches nor pineapple melon salsa were good for open concept. I was better off bringing the grilled corn on the cob and the backyard barbecue here in the front. They would have probably been too much up here, and I would have had to separate them, and I would not have been able to burn nothing else. I feel like the grilled peaches and me burning grilled peaches and pineapple melon salsa kind of kept the grilled corn on the cob and the barbecue at bay, so that my family wouldn't start complaining about the scent. And I think that's why my mother didn't really notice, because these may not have been super strong, but they were strong enough to combat those two strong candles. Or I'm not going to say those were extremely strong, but my mother did say one of them was starting to give her a headache. So in that regard, that's why I said they're about a 7 to a 7.5. Respectfully, each one has its ranking. I already did in this video, but if you want to try something different out of this entire group, I say go with backyard barbecue and grilled corn on the cob if you want that savory type of scent. Grilled peaches is not really going to give you what you're looking for. If you're looking for something charred and smoked and having like both those, I'm going to tell you right now, the charred and the grilled peaches, it's there, but it's not. Like, it's much more peach, 85% peach and maybe 15% charred. Pineapple melon salsa. Let me just show you the burn real quick like I did with everything else. that is how it looked. The wax is a colored wax, so it's not clear looking like the other two. Grilled Peaches also had like an orange peachy colored wax. That's why that one doesn't look as clear and clean as the other two. They all have cotton wicks if you're curious about that, so no metal cores in the middle. Made with essential oils for those who are afraid of essential oils because they're hormone disruptors. I'm not sure how, honestly, essential oils, if they're really hormone disruptors, I don't feel any different. I don't feel like my hormones have been out of whack, so I can't contribute to that. But if you're someone who's interested in that and that really concerns you, I just want you to know they are made with essential oils. Other than that, like I said, my two suggestions, out of them, if you want something different, something unique, Backyard Barbecue grilled corn on the cob. If you want to try grilled peaches and pineapple melon salsa, they're available. Not recommended by me though, because I already know how some of y'all are when it comes to that strength and throw, and they're not going to fit the bill for you, and they're not really unique compared to the other two. So other than that, thank you for tuning in to my weekly post-burn reviews, or my post-burn. I'm not going to say, well, should I say weekly? I don't know. Maybe I'll just call it post-burn reviews, or you know what? I'll call this the Backyard Barbecue Collection review and leave it at that. I think that's what I'll do, is if it's a theme, I'll just name it as a theme collective review. That's what I think I'll do. So other than that, you guys, this video is probably about 30 to 40 minutes long, but I hope it was worth it. Let me know if you like this format a lot better compared to one individual review per candle, and if this one just made more sense to just kind of put them in a video to collectively review, since they all made sense and kind of went together anyway and under the same theme. And until then, I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.